Tides of Love. In a small, forgotten corner of the world, on the outskirts of a city glimmering with wealth, lived a boy named Mateo. He was the son of a fisherman, and though life had not been kind to him, Mateo was rich in heart. His days were spent on the shore, helping his father with their humble boat, dreaming of a life beyond the sea, while his nights were filled with stories he made up, imagining what lay beyond the horizon. Just across the city, in a grand estate of marble and sprawling gardens, lived Isabella, the daughter of one of the wealthiest families in town. She had everything anyone could dream of: beautiful dresses, endless parties, and the attention of the city's elite. Yet, despite her wealth, her heart was heavy with loneliness. Trapped in a gilded cage, Isabella longed for freedom, for the simplicity of a life not weighed down by expectations. One summer evening, when the city was buzzing with a grand festival, fate intertwined their paths. The festival, held at the heart of the city, was a celebration for all, from the wealthiest to the poorest. Mateo, drawn by the lights and music, found himself in the city for the first time. He was awestruck by the grandeur of the streets and the joy that seemed to spill out of every corner. Isabella, eager to escape her life of formality and duty, had slipped away from her family's estate. Disguised in a simple dress, she wandered through the festival, unrecognizable in the crowd. She danced freely under the strings of lanterns, her laughter carried by the wind. It was in that very moment that Mateo first saw her. She was different, unlike anyone he had ever seen. To him, she was a vision of grace and beauty, yet her eyes held something deeper, a sadness he understood all too well. Without thinking, he approached her. "Care for a dance?" he asked, his voice soft but steady. Isabella looked at him, surprised by his straightforwardness, but there was something in his eyes, something honest, unpretentious, that made her heart flutter. "I'd love to," she replied, taking his hand. They danced beneath the stars, the world around them fading as they moved in time with the music. Mateo didn't know who she was, and Isabella didn't care where he came from. For the first time in their lives, they felt free. After the music slowed and the crowd began to thin, they walked together through the quiet streets, sharing stories. Mateo spoke of his life by the sea, of the struggles and joys of living simply. Isabella listened with rapt attention, captivated by his sincerity. In turn, she shared her dreams of escaping her life of luxury, of seeing the world beyond the walls of her family's estate. As the night grew late, Isabella knew she had to return home before her absence was noticed. But before she left, she gave Mateo a promise. "Meet me here, tomorrow night," she whispered. "Under the same stars." And so, their secret meetings continued, night after night. They explored the city, learning more about each other, and as they did, their connection deepened. Mateo showed Isabella the beauty in the simple things: how to fish at dawn, how to watch the waves and listen to the ocean's whispers. In return, Isabella taught Mateo about the world beyond their small town, of art, music, and literature that he had never known. They were from different worlds, yet together, they created one of their own. But love between a poor boy and a rich girl was never meant to be easy. One evening, as they sat on a cliff overlooking the sea, Isabella confessed the truth. "My family would never approve of us," she said, her voice breaking. "They have plans for me, plans that don't include someone like you." Mateo's heart sank, but he took her hand and held it tightly. "I don't care where you come from," he said. "We'll find a way." The following weeks were filled with uncertainty. Isabella's family had begun to grow suspicious of her late-night outings, and the pressure to marry a wealthy suitor was growing. Yet, despite the odds, Isabella and Mateo continued to meet, their love growing stronger with each passing day. One night, just as they had made plans to run away together, Isabella's family discovered their secret. Furious, her father forbade her from ever seeing Mateo again, threatening to ruin his family if they defied him. Heartbroken, Isabella was forced to stay within the walls of her estate, while Mateo, now banned from the city, returned to the shore, devastated but not defeated. For weeks, they lived apart, the distance between them seeming insurmountable. But true love, the kind that grows despite the barriers of wealth and status, cannot be broken so easily. One stormy night, when the city was silent and the sea roared in the distance, Isabella made a decision. She escaped her home, running through the rain until she reached the shore. There, standing by the old boat, was Mateo, waiting for her, as he had always promised. Without a word, they embraced, knowing that they could no longer live apart. Together, they set sail, leaving behind the world that had tried to keep them apart. With nothing but their love and the open sea before them, they knew that their journey would be uncertain. But as long as they had each other, they had everything. And beneath the same stars that had first brought them together, Mateo and Isabella began a new life, one built not on wealth or status, but on love, trust, and the promise of endless possibilities.